Bam. Are we live?
You're watching iCarly.
Are we? Are we? Oh, yeah.
I should do another iCarly in about 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no. I like to.
That was
I like to
that's
wait
way too early.
I know.
I need a bit more, but even though I've never seen this iCarly.
I usually like to wait until Ned's in there. Ned is an iCarly appreciator.
I think of Miley Cyrus when I hear about iCarly.
No.
We're not live yet, are we?
It should be.
We're live. We're live.
Where's the live
It's
chat? I
on.
can't find it.
We are not alive, though. Sorry.
It's only
Here it
me
is,
on the
got it.
left
Oh,
with
We
this.
still
That's
have Jim
fine.
Mercy.
I'm cool with it.
That's why I was confused.
You know, I
Yeah, I didn't get to swap out the
you know what's
thing.
going
I
on.
know.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, got it.
Good morning from Kanuka.
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 What's that?
Oh. Good morning. Good morning.
I just want to go to the casino.
Ladies and
Guitars.
gentlemen. You're watching iCarly. There you go. You got a big one.
audio for 5 seconds.
Nice to have you here, caller. So tell us, what can Delilah do? It's okay, guys. Heck yeah, Evan. What a coincidence. I'm switching mics too. Who is everyone wearing? Banana Republic.
Man, McCheese is freaking out.
Used, pre-owned, $40. Originally, $350. We call it derelict.
Now I found the chat.
Another Canadian watching. Oh shit!
How many Canadians
I didn't
can we
know
have?
Mike Hutchins was a Canadian. That's crazy. I figured you were good old USA, but all the Christmas should have told me. I don't know why.
McCheese know we were switching audios. He was panicking. He's so funny.
Audio's fucked. Can't hear shit.
Now he's like, never mind. Patience, Mayor.
No sound. No sound.
Yep, we're switched to our labs.
No, it should still be the shotgun.
No, it's still a shotgun. Never mind.
But you guys are good.
Jonathan is wearing. Is that Carhartt? I believe. No.
No.
Oh my god. Not Carhartt.
I would never. No, I would. I would wear Carhartt. I like Carhartt. I got 2 of these little jacket things for Christmas, and that's the only thing I've worn since. I'm throwing all my clothes away.
Isn't it funny, as a kid, and I don't know if this was the same for you, as a kid I had a Carhartt jacket and I was like, oh, I hate this.
They didn't sell Carhartt at Kmart.
Thanks.
I never had any Carhartt stuff.
They bought us one.
Like, never. I never had that
They
junk.
bought us one, and you had to wear that motherfucker until it was screaming about to burst off of you.
Now, my kids have had some because, I
Yeah.
fellow sound guy being patient because I understand what is happening.
There you go, Tom.
Oh,
See?
there you go.
Look at
There you
that.
go.
That's a nice change of pace there. You talk to your wife with that much kindness, and she might loosen up on the damn leash, baby.
I doubt it. We know how wives go. I only wear Banana Republic and play Castadosas. It's a type.
It is a type. I get that. This
That's hilarious.
Like I said, it's funny. I went to Banana Republic, and I had seen some very nice jackets. I tried them on, and the tags all said $400, and I said, not a fucking chance.
The Mighty Woodrow says, that's why I wear Dickies. That's my man right there. That's my man. The man who knows.
But I did go and do a little shout out. I went down to Create, and I was digging in one of their bins. It's a little local thrift spot in town. And I found this, and it said $40. And I said, what? He said, yeah, there's a little bleach stain on it. Right here. You can barely see it on camera.
The mayor says
You
he
like
could
it?
just watch your smiling face, Sean.
Oh, God.
That's why we love the mayor. That's why we love the mayor.
Do all right, thank you.
JP's all good.
Where's Baxter? Baxter's kind of like the voice of God right now.
We could give him a random off-camera, off-thing microphone.
That would be nice.
Like JP the other day had on my members only live stream. JP had a JP mic.
You know what we should do with that? We should do moments where like we look up like we're thinking and we grab our chin and then the other voice comes in. And so he thought to himself, God, I would never want to be John Mayer on the Rolling Stones magazine cover of 2009 with my nipples out.
You would?
Not a chance.
I don't know. Ed says, did you know North Carolina is the first to reintroduce the red wolf back into the wild? Cheers to us. We got
Red Wolf?
Red wolves.
I thought they were talking about Tiger. I was like, are we talking about that guitar again? I
heard Derek Truck smashed it.
It's amazing. That's the best thing.
That's the best use of AI I've seen so far. I thought that was just hilarious.
No other good use.
Listen,
I've seen that, and that was incredible.
I can relate. Bean Lamb says, "Good morning, gents. I'm wearing whatever my old lady buys me at Target." I will say about Target clothes. I'll say this: for a while they were awesome. I feel like they've gotten a little. The shirts are short. On a, like I'm like, they're a little short. They're weird, and they're little. They've leaned a little into like the sort of like preppier side of things.
Yeah.
It's almost like we gave that to Target, and we said, Walmart, you can have Dickies and Wrangler. And like the manly, and it's also weird. Like, what's at Walmart now? Because when I was a kid, if you wore Walmart stuff, it was like, what I mean? Like,
pretty wide.
But now it's like, man, they got all the stuff at Walmart.
I'm very much a man of my own demeanor here. I don't like other people buying me clothes, and it's not because I'm like, oh, only I know what's best. I just know that I'm very like.
My wife will buy me things. To be fair, that I'm just like. So then she doesn't buy me clothes. I would do better. Hot take. I hope my wife's watching, because she would. I think she would agree with this, unless she's mad at me, and then she wouldn't. But I think I do better buying her clothes than she would buy me clothes.
Yeah.
Because occasionally, on the odd holiday, I might buy.
Yeah.
Some women's clothing.
And I think the difference is, I don't know, maybe it's something about, like, the idea of, like, I don't know, rock and roll, that you just think about. I don't know. I think about design that way. Think about it like I do artwork that goes with music, that goes with music videos, that goes with how you present yourself on stage and what that performance is. It's what I like.
Here you go. Some good cargo pants and a pack of white shirts from Costco. All you need.
Well, listen, if you're going to be in a Pantera tribute, perfect. You're in.
Listen, are we talking about that movie Sinners?
Sinners.
I mean, because I watched it. You watched it.
I did not. Well, I've seen parts of it. I'm going to be honest. I started it, and I got about halfway through. And I know it's great, and I know there's, like, guitar in it and stuff.
Well,
there
were some things I enjoyed.
Why's the white man gotta be the villain?
That's fine.
He was a great villain.
He was a great villain.
No. My issue is I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, so I got bored.
From Dusk Till Dawn is awesome. I saw that as a child and was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opened a lot of horizons.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I just feel like they could have done cooler things in some spots.
Totally.
And like the effects when they're like dancing and like not to spoil too many things, like the ancestor stuff, I was like, well, this kind of looks like we made it. I was like,
I was hoping more.
It was neat, but it was like, couldn't it have been cooler? I think it could have been cooler. It was like that could have been cooler, and like I just don't know that everyone had to die. Like I don't know that he had to die and stuff.
Don't spoil.
Well, I mean,
if you haven't seen it by now. We're spoiling.
Titanic spoiler. You'll never believe it.
Oh my god.
The ship.
I'll interrupt for one thing on this. The one thing I didn't know in that movie. Sorry, I'll be gone in a minute.
Buddy Guy was.
I didn't know Michael B. Jordan was both parts until like well later, because I didn't go into that watching that. I was like, oh my god. And then later I found like, oh, he deserves the Academy Award.
Did you think that it was the same person?
No, because he's just twins, sort of. So in the movie,
oh, you thought that he actually had a twin?
I just didn't even think. I was just because they look different, they dress different, they act different.
I'm not a fan.
Off to him.
I'm not a fan of that kind of. I don't know. To me, there's a lot of tropes happening in that film, and that's one of them.
Cool.
Of course, whenever it comes to anything nefarious happening in a nightclub, that's going to be a horror movie style thing. What is it? vampires or zombies. You know, those are your two routes.
Don't let them in. No, I mean it's just I don't know.
In all reality, what I see is a movie that is combining From Dusk Till Dawn and the movie Vamp. If you haven't seen Vamp,
I don't see man.
Grace Jones, is that who it is? Am I thinking of that correctly? Has anybody in here seen Vamp? Let me make sure, because I love her music.
Now listen, I don't want to be overly critical because on the whole, like as a whole,
Grace Jones.
I did enjoy Sinners. I thought okay,
Yeah.
you know, an
It's
enjoyable
good.
watch.
Yeah.
I just had. I think it was a case of like it getting hyped up a bit,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I had like kind of high expectations,
I
and
think
then
yeah,
we weren't quite there.
would have been way better if it was a movie that was under bold, you know, and then you go into it, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's one of those movies. The trailer tells you the whole damn story. I'm a big stickler for trailers blowing shit.
man, Tom saying Baxter. I didn't think that tracks would open in a guitar store. I mean, you know, hey, 100%. We're kind of with you.
Vampires represented racism and capitalism.
Sucking all the life.
No shit, you know? I mean, like, but that's my thing. I'm like, hate movie trailers. Agree. I completely agree.
How are we not talking about the new Sherlock series with Guy Ritchie? I feel like we should just let's take a break. Let's pause all.
Sherlock, thank you.
Let's just take a damn break. Like
Oh my god.
superheroes.
It's like we have to have a
Sherlock
Sherlock.
Holmes. There's a list of things. I'm like, we could just take a break of.
And anybody who's about to go like, no. Listen, Benedict Cumberbatch killed it. He fucking murdered that role. Since then, all we've done is just beat it with a damn bat.
And I enjoyed him in that role.
It was great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. That should have been it.
Let's leave it for a
And
minute.
he did it. He was the guy. And ever since then, it's like, we've got to have a shit. We got Elementary. We've got Young Sherlock now. We've got...
Young Sherlock?
Yes. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's like they're going Young Sheldon, but even worse.
You had Lucy Liu as Sherlock as well.
That's what I'm saying, Elementary. We got a female role of it. We had Will Ferrell create his absolute worst film of the last 10 years. Oh my god. It was a Sherlock thing. It was... What was it called? It was, It was bad. It was really bad. It was the Step Brothers crew, and it was horrible. The jokes were not funny. Everybody was unanimous. The fact that y'all don't know it is a clear sign.
It is a clear
bad.
sign.
That was Holmes and Watson.
Holmes and Watson, not
Oh,
good.
just from that, yeah, no.
Bad.
That's got 10% Rotten Tomatoes.
It's fucking horrible. It is
That's-
a hot piece of
That
dog
is
shit.
rough.
The mayor says the new Young Sherlock is totally fresh take on Sherlock. It's good. I mean, I would try it.
Let me ask you,
You know, ever
does-
since the
Does he solve crimes? Is he a detective?
at least
Fresh
we moved on
gimmick,
from Robert Downey Jr. You know, like
Once again, another one.
You know, but hey.
Like, that was, to me, also.
I feel like the smart
Yeah.
brain says, you know, the good old days when a vampire is just a vampire is an undead person who lives off blood, not good enough. I'm kind of into that. I also think the mayor makes a good point about the old capitalism, but, you know.
And I'm not coming at you, Mayor. I do love, no, he's not a detective. He's a teenager who aspires to be a detective.
He will be. He will be.
Why can't Fresh Takes just be new IPs? I agree.
I do feel like it's almost like we've run out, right?
Well-
like even the things I'm excited about are old books turning into movies.
The thing is,
you know, it's like, oh,
we seem to be caught in this hell loop where it's like, well, we gotta relive something, you know, like MASH is gonna come back, dude. Like, we're at that point. They're gonna redo Cheers here soon, and I'm gonna be like, kill me.
No, Cheers, yes.
And I'm like, we've already done it. I mean, How I Met Your Mother. It's fucking Cheers.
what's up, Matt? I mean, pretty much, right?
It's just, there's no, I mean, I guess Barney is your norm.
It was like Cheers at Friends.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to redo Friends, and we'll just make it also Cheers, and then bam.
Yes, it's like they only meet up in a bar, or a coffee shop, or a...
Okay, Night of the Seven Kingdoms I really want to watch, but I have not yet. But I have been watching all the like little rundowns on YouTube, which is kind of lame. But also I'm like, man, this is very interesting.
I do feel like miniseries are kind of like king right now. Like you can watch some amazing miniseries.
Well, because they can't ruin it, really, right? Like everything that goes too long, it's like, oh, eventually.
Well, if
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Speaking of Game of Thrones, right? But
well, if you haven't watched like the Chernobyl series that came out, like this is like old as hell now. It's probably been almost 10 years. That was great. There's other series though that fall within that realm. Fallout is great. It's a good time if you're into video game shit.
I'm gonna make myself watch that in a bit and just watch the whole thing because I've heard it's good. And I started watching it and was interested.
Yeah.
And if I had already known some of the lore, I probably would have been more interested. But now I just got to start back. I think now that there's more out. Now here is a good question that I think you'll have an opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
That is an actual guitar question. Not that not that we're discriminating, but I would like to know why is the B. This is Ed, our dear friend Ed Schnur. Why is the B-Bender Telecaster not more common? I have some thoughts.
I have thoughts too. You want to go first or you want me to go?
You can go first.
I think, so 2 reasons. Most people, if you're already like, okay, I play a little bit of guitar moderately and I'm trying to get better at it, you throw in something like that and you're adding in like a whole curveball to the guitar experience, like right into it. I think it's a little tricky to get your fingers under if you're not used to already like just kind of natural ripping.
Like sort of differently than like a Floyd or something. It's just like you could just use it, but a B-bender you kind of got to be. You're bending up in tune, right?
Yes.
So
and it's
different.
on a singular string as well. So whenever you try to do it, the chords might not come out how you think. And then the other reason is if you look at what Fender just put out, they usually take up a lot of room, or Joe Glazer's proprietary bender, which is fantastic and very non-invasive in a lot of ways. I mean, you got to drill one hole, basically, is what they said. They can do it in like an hour. That is his proprietary thing, which costs money. So
I was gonna say, I think historically they not only did they take up a lot of room, they're expensive.
Mm-hmm. They weigh a
They
lot.
can be a bit heavy, yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that. I mean, they are really. They don't have to be, but they're pretty genre specific.
They are,
or at least in people's minds, right? Like you can't think of too many like great rock or even like Americana albums that like you're like, oh yeah, the B-Bender. I mean, so.
Yeah. Well, and thinking of like indie rock into like post-punk stuff, there's applications I would use it in, but I'll tell you the one that Fender just came out with, not trying to throw shade, not trying to
be
say
a G-Bender.
Someone made the most hideous B-Bender I've seen in a while, but having a little knob on the top of my guitar does not scream fun. I don't know.
You mean like past the...
Yeah, I don't like
most of them have that, though.
They do.
I mean, most of them have that.
That's
where you're making the B-Bender. So, like...
I'm a fan of the Glazer Bender, but I also like the GB swap.
The GB... It'd be cool to be able to swap to G, too.
Yeah. And I would use a G bender.
I've never had a guitar with a bender, but I love the sound of it. So, like, a lot of the bends that I mess around with, I'm trying to sort of make that sound, but... I don't know. I'd love to have one to mess around with. I think it would be cool. But I just think a lot of people, like, also in my brain, there's something about having the mechanical contraption that seems like it makes your guitar less solid. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't mess up with tuning and stuff.
Well, it's similar to Floyd Rose, Like, I think if you play Floyd Rose guitars, I think, tonally speaking, if you play a Telecaster or a Les Paul next to that, there's a difference. And, like, the difference becomes, like, almost a sterility to the sound because there's no vibration happening with the body in the same way, I don't think.
Right.
You go to rounding out the whole back of a guitar to put a bender in it, taking out a lot of wood, baby. A lot of wood. And I know some people are like, it's fake. It's a lie. Maybe so. Maybe it's all in my fucking head.
It's all fake.
In my head, it sounds different. So that's why I think benders are not more popular.
Is the mayor says, is anyone not confused by the latest Fender releases? Are we talking about like the 75th anniversary releases? A bunch of new models, and they're just a telly with super confusing names. I mean, that's sort of what Fender does.
I think they're there. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what they've been kind of rolling.
I played a Friends the other day in Nashville. Great tool concept, but after 20 plus years of playing, I can't find time to learn to play one. I do think that you kind of have to know enough with a bender to think through, like, the chord shape or inversion you're playing and being able to bend that note to the chord, not necessarily from the chord. And that takes a little bit of thinking.
Well, and
You know?
also, like you're saying here, that doesn't mean you can just play any major chord and it's going to sound good. Depending on what key you're trying to live within, it might not work with other chords once you have it set to a whole step, half step bend, you know?
Yeah, because not every chord in the harmony, in the scale, however you want
Yeah.
to think about it, is going to be a whole step bend on that, whatever that note ends up being.
And
But
that's not to say that all songs stay in the same key, obviously, but that is to say that for the majority of things, whenever you're playing it, you're going to get some really sour notes if you just go to
you
yank
can,
on
yeah.
it, you know?
Ovaltine Jenkins says James used a bender with Metallica on the Load album. It's kind of cool.
Load.
I mean, I just think it would be neat. I think it would be pretty cool. I did see Ovaltine where you said you were putting putting heavier strings on for slide. Been playing 8s, going up to 12s or 13s.
Woo, baby.
That might be more of a jump than you need to make.
Damn it, son. You're about to turn into a man.
We could have started at 11s, maybe. You know what I mean? I actually brought Chad's because we were talking about it. I bought the mule, and it's got 13s on it.
Yes.
So if I'm not mistaken,
And I'm going to say, if you're just playing slide on that guitar, you might be alright. If you want to do anything with your fingers too, though, you are going to be...
13s with slide are amazing, or 12s. Like the more pressure you've got supporting the strings, the better off you are. I mean, that is a good sound.
Now, if you try to do bends on that, I played it the other day, I was like, damn it. See a little tight.
I mean, that's tricky. It's tricky for sure, you know. But I mean, like for slide stuff, you know, I mean, it's kind of awesome. I mean, even playing like.
Is there a way to lift the action up from the bridge on that thing?
It'd be cool if there was,
I
right?
was gonna say, because I almost feel like she set up so low.
But I mean, yeah, there probably is, but.
Not that tonally I'm hearing anything that's like addictive, but looking at it from here, how low those strings are.
But see, it doesn't matter because they're so thick.
Yeah.
Because they're not moving. I'm not pushing them down at all, right? And then when you do go to play,
It's not screaming.
it's not so bad.
It's crazy. It's like they're like almost touching that pickup.
I wonder if that pickup needs to come down a little bit.
Right, but you see that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if you hold that. I mean, it's on the magnet.
And see, I almost think that could be
The pickup.
keeping it
height.
not from ringing the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it probably does need to be lowered a bit on the pickup. You know.
Just smack. Hang on, Chad. He's gonna do some surgery. I love Jack Flynn just popped in like the most insane question I've seen in a while. What really was the downfall of Rickenbacker?
See, that's the thing about Rickenbacker. No downfall, no climb, no nothing. Just
Really, I think they just did this. I think it's when like.
I tell you what, if you got a screwdriver sitting around.
I don't think I do. I looked for one in here the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I got one next door.
Oh, you know what? I got one. I got one in my backpack right here. Here, you hold this thing.
Oh,
Hold it.
Shit. Oh, damn. An ugly guitar was the downfall. Sparkbrain, come on, man. It's Ricky time, dude.
I mean, they are kind of funny looking.
If you're into Tame Impala at all, he is a big Rick guy, from a Rick bass to a Rick guitar that he plays. I think he plays a... What's he play? 330? Yeah, I think he plays a 330 in jet glow.
Fender tool thingy for the win. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see if we put that thing down.
Run it.
And this is a good thing for everyone to know that, like, if you, and you probably know this already, but if your pickups are too high, even acoustically, you will.
You gonna get some nastiness. She gonna be nasty. You know, while we're here, and I got all my junk in the room.
Let's see now what it sounds like. Not too bad, you know? I mean, you know, you're only hearing it obviously through our lav mics, and I'm just plugged into a little Magnetone Starlight down there. It says, "Why can't I get a job at casino?" Because it might be the mic, Mayor, because it's pretty good on our end from here, I think. I'll play around with the height later. Honestly, I've played this thing a lot more.
Definitely sounds
unplugged.
better.
And I mean, I might could go down a little bit more. I need to make sure it's pretty balanced. But anyways, it's pretty good.
A bit more bark.
You know, you just don't want the magnet pulling on that string.
Yeah.
I'm with the Mayor. I kind of like mine lower. You know, I think lower sounds better on a lot of pickups.
It does. Unless you talk to your Uncle Larry, you know what he says. Jazzmaster pickups right up against the damn string. I don't know. I think it's a balance, you know.
I do think different pickups are different, right?
Totally.
Like people say with Filtertron, same thing. Like as close as you can get. You know. But you know, that's it. Dad tuning. The mayor says pickups may be different, but magnetism and sustain never change. The closer the magnet is to the string, the less sustain you have. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think you get to a point though, right, where you get far enough away. I'm talking like once you get far enough away that the pull is not on the. You know what I mean? Like
where you don't get
right. I think certain like different constructions probably lend themselves to the better tone is you know, I mean, now sustain, the sustain is just straight up
I agree.
What it is.
Steven Wilson Jr.
Man, I tell you what, like when you like 90% of my, actually it's maybe not even true anymore, because like I've been doing a lot more slide playing on acoustic in my solo shows, just because it gives me something to do. But like most of my slide playing on electric is kind of a constant struggle because it's on electric guitars, not set up for slide.
Yeah.
which Dylan Adams put out a good video of this the other day. So you know, you're always thinking about, and the better you get at it, the better I've gotten at it, the less I have to think about that, right? But then when you play on something like this thing, any thought of like, oh, the string's not going to ring out, or oh, I'm going to kill it, or I'm going to hit a fret goes away, and it makes it so.
Yeah.
Now it's not easy if you haven't been playing slide for a while, but man, really, really cool. It's just really funny how easy it is to play. But what are you going to do? Yesterday, I saw my local guitar center has a beat to shit 64 Jazzmaster that's beat to the shit in all the right ways. There you go. This makes me feel funny in the pants, but they want $7,500 with replaced pickups.
I mean, you could hit them at 5. Go in and hit them at 5, see if they'll take that. I bet they would. It's GC.
We were talking Monday, dude, about it was a 66 Telly. You tell me if I'm thinking right, Ovaltine. 66 Telly, all original. And I can't remember what we said they wanted. Was it? Yeah, remind me what they wanted for that the Telly.
I mean, I'm gonna assume probably over 10, huh?
Oh, way over 10. Yeah. It was quite a bit over 10. Okay, yeah, 66 Telly, all original for $15K. It wasn't the worst. I felt like I honestly thought it was horrible when I first started. Then I started looking. I was like,
it's not bad.
That's in the ballpark, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not cracking 20, which is nice. I mean, if you look at a Strat from that same time frame, they're usually clicking closer to 20. Not at 20, but closer.
But I feel like they're more desirable in that time frame.
Yes. Because you don't,
That's not the. Although a lot of those Nashville dudes. Here's the question I always feel like I have to ask. Right, you see all these a lot of Nashville guys with vintage tellies in that ballpark, and you have to start to wonder, like, is it because that's what is available and is affordable, like in the way of it's doable, or is it because they're really like something? Because to me, like the late '60s tellies are like they're a lot brighter and brasher, and like for country stuff, twang is good, I think.
Yeah.
But like the Blackguards are so amazing because they do the kind of like dirty rock, like warmer thing.
I think it's totally just like, oh, I got a vintage guitar. That's literally it. I think people are everybody wants to live out that dream of, I've got my guitar that is a real old guitar that is got a story and all this shit to it, and at whatever price point you can get into that, people are getting into it.
Okay, I got a question for the mayor, because the mayor says vintage prices are going to drop hard in the next 6 months. The Thursday auction spoke so loudly, the hype is over. Like, does that mean that the value comes exclusively from, like, being celebrity owned, like being owned by, which in these, Pink Floyd and this stuff, you're talking about, or like Tiger, talking about actual rock history, what I mean? Not just some kind of flash in the pan band had it and recorded a hit. No. We're talking about like actually
guys
building blocks of
guitars.
Like what we think of as guitar music right now.
The guitars of our history.
But because I'm wondering if the same people are going to bid in that auction, like because we're all talking, right? Like I don't think any of us are going to go buy a vintage guitar from Christie's and pay a 20% premium unless it's like, okay, we want the provenance, right? Because I think if you wanted like a the same vintage Martin or the same vintage Fender or Gibson, you would go to Carter's, you go to Groon's, you'd find somebody, you'd go to the guitar shows and you'd find somebody who was willing to wheel and deal instead of you got to bid for it and then you got to pay the premium. That's the only thing I wonder about with the data set from that.
I think
like
any gigging musician, professional musician, or professional collectors, right? We'll say the people who are in that auction, who are voting in that auction, I think are a part of that top 1% thing that we talk about in like the general economy.
Yep.
They are so far removed from just the people who go in and buy stuff. Like we talked to a collector the other day. You know what he collected? Custom. Like custom with a K shit.
Oh, people love that stuff. You know what I mean?
There's people out there, and this guy is just one of thousands. You go to a guitar show and you see the same dudes who come through and they're seeking whatever that thing is. I think the world is so much bigger than that 1% that is setting the standard of that auction stage. Now the auction world, I think, lives in its own realm because if you buy a $30,000 guitar, you've got to pay another $5,000, $6,000 on top of it for their price. A lot of people aren't going to do that. A lot of people want to go wheel and deal and give you cash and say, yeah, I bought a 1961 Strat from this dude for $25,000. It was beat to hell, but it's my guitar, So, I like to look at the, this is what we do at the shop, and we've been very open about this, but we go to Reverb and we look at the sold listings across that market and where they fall at. We don't track it based on what people are listing things at. We track it based on what people are selling them at. And with those vintage guitars, I do think a lot of the selling prices that we do see are usually just about $5,000 over what sold prices were. So I don't think it's too far off. I don't think we're gonna see the earth shift because of this. I think we'll see big name guitars shift forward more because now somebody wants to beat that price.
That was wild, dude. Yeah.
I think we've seen that.
The mayor says people paying over $15K don't play for the most part. They really don't care about it being their guitar. They care about value, appreciation. I think that's true with the famous guitars. I'm not sure, I'm not sure that's true when we sell because the things that we sell there are over $15K, private stock, certain rare, like Fender Custom Shop, for example, like Mike McCready or something like that, or the Waylon Jennings.
And I'll say, fuck all that even. Vintage guitars, when we've gotten them in, they go to, in my opinion, what I've seen in the same way too of like who I see buying these things, they usually are people who are generally
It's a
impressive
Seth
players.
Rosenblum.
Yes, it's guys who are like, they are serious, you know, and that's like their life, that's their lifeblood. Not to say that it doesn't happen the other way where it's just a guy collecting, but I think that most collectors want something of provenance. They want something that Keith Richards has signed the back of the headstock on. You know, they want something that has that thing with it. But for the majority of it, I see it being like players. And anybody I know who owns a vintage guitar, if they don't play like that, they try their best to get that guitar into the hands of actual players and like have them play it, you know? Which is a weird thing in itself.
So you guys are a guitar store, different. I get that, you know. And I get through an auction house too. I just the problem to me with the auction house for guys, you know, which and you're right, it is different. You know, I don't necessarily expect the players to be at the auction houses.
You know, yeah. And
I
think it's funny too. Everybody talking about Derek Trucks, like, oh, he bought Tiger. Derek Trucks did not buy Tiger. He was there and he knows the guy who did buy Tiger, and that's great because he's a player that's like getting it thrusted into his hands. You know, but that is one of the few people who were an actual player there.
Morgan Lux says, I don't know, man. Some people say custom shop buyers are lawyers and doctors that don't actually play. Just a bigger assumption. I mean, a lot of people think that, and there is some of that. Just like, I mean, they're lawyers and doctors who play.
Yeah,
they're just people with money. They're one of two things, I think, right? They're either people with money who play,
yeah,
or and this is I'm obviously from the store perspective, you know. There are people who are pretty serious about playing. You see people who are out playing, making some money, actually doing gigs, and then they like, this is my curve, right? You kind of work yourself up and you play some and you realize, oh wow, I do like these a lot. These are maybe better. And I'm not talking about just custom shop. I'm talking about any high end like actual guitar.
yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that buy ours who are actual gigging musicians.
And I'll say, I think I see the difference in a lot of the guys who are the gigging musicians travel here. And I've got a handful of guys who spec them out. Actually, our good friend Mark Weaver, he got his custom shop from us, and he just bought an American Vintage 2 so that he has a kind of spare guitar in that situation. Which is cool, you know. There's more out there than you would think. It's
Evalonia says, I just feel lucky enough to have the best possible playing and sounding guitar I can afford. Okay, correction, 19 of the best playing and sounding guitar. That's kind of how I feel. I've always felt about it, right? Like, I just want the best guitars, best playing and sounding guitars I can comfortably, well, maybe not always comfortably, but you know, realistically afford.
So Mayor McCheese said, you have players that will spend up to like 15 to 18,000, but above 25K according to auction data. It's primary collectors, not players. What I want to point out is that 15 to 18 that you're talking about. It's a very, very tight number gap there too. If you expand that a bit, regardless, guitar players who are buying guitars that are over $5,000 and up is a very, very small crust of players, like real players. And I think we should all understand that and know that, because the average guy who is out there playing and buying guitars is what, you know, if we're going to go for a wide gap, we'll say 15 to 35. They're going to get something, maybe at the top being an American Vintage, an American reissue, an American Professional, or a Gibson Standard.
Let's say that American Vintage.
Yeah.
3K, right? That's a lot for most.
That's a ton.
People.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Right? Like myself included. The only reason, and we've talked about this before, the only reason I've had the guitars I've had in my life, one is people being generous and super ridiculously kind to me. You know, like, I want to, hey, I'll give you a stupid deal because I like you, or I like your playing, or you know what I mean. Two, working at a guitar shop. I've worked at a guitar shop in some like side capacity
Yes.
pretty much most of my adult life, which affords, I'll
Yeah.
buy things at cost or close to it, or
Yeah.
or at a deep discount. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I live in the same realm. I have saved up and bought, an American, at the time it's an American original, but for the most part, a lot of the stuff that I have would not be here unless if I didn't play gigs and write music and play with other musicians and get out there and also work at a music store, there's no way in hell.
William Robinson has to say his blues doctor really plays, dude. And if you guys haven't, check out William's podcast,
Yeah.
the Blues Doctor podcast. Really cool stuff, and lots of live stuff going on over on his content. So make sure check him out. So Spark Brain says no guitar is worth more than $5,000 in my opinion. I'm saying this purely from a player perspective, though.
Here's what I'll say, and I talked to our very good friend Surrender about this. The guitars such as like Castadosa, in some frame of mind, Fender Master Built stuff, other things that are like that level of boutique or a vintage instrument. Sometimes you play something and the craftsmanship and the level of attention to detail and the overall spirit of that guitar, the mojo thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago, is so prevalent that I can see myself understanding why you would pay $10,000 for a guitar. Specifically, a recent example being the Castadosa stuff. That is Carlos Lopez on his own, maybe a helping hand from a friend or two who he might know, coming in and helping finish things out. But those guitars are handmade to the extent that there's like a perfection element going on. And you can feel it, And there's something in my head about knowing that whatever I spend on this guitar goes to that guy. His family, his craft, his 30 to almost 40 years of life's work, working towards this skill, harnessing this thing. And you feel that whenever you get up and you play a song, You feel that whenever you write a song, I think. So.
It's true.
Sometimes you find the reasons why something might be worth more than that, What we might put into the frame of priceless, You can't put a dollar sign on some of that stuff.
I mean, the Spark Brain says, I want to answer Tony's question about the things, but Spark Brain, this is an interesting thing. Still not worth it. A good player can make a toy guitar sound good. Sort of, right? But a toy guitar can't do everything that you necessarily want it to do. So give a good player a 2K guitar and they'll be just fine. I think that's true, right? I don't think it's for anything to get a player to that level. Some of them, this is personality, right? Because some players who are amazing, I think, could care less about what guitar they're playing. Yeah. And then some players, like, if you want to keep buying better and better, like things that just kind of make you happier, give you that extra, like literally 1%, 2%. Yeah. I just think it doesn't. I don't. It's just so. It's a personal thing. Like I think it's fine if you're like, $2,000. I mean, because honestly, you could do pretty much anything you ever wanted to do on an American Pro 2 or an American or like a standard Les Paul or SG or a, you know what I mean? Or a Squire. I get that, but I also get why some players would want.
Well,
but it's not a need at that point. It's just a personal.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. If anyone in this chat, whether you have one, because if we go off of that basis, right, about how much you should spend on a guitar and what is justified, you should buy one guitar. You should only ever own one electric guitar and one acoustic guitar and one classical guitar, because those are the style of guitars, right? You should never own more than that, because this guitar will do the same thing that guitar will do, that guitar will do, But that's not why you do it, That's not why you make art, I don't think. And maybe it's the capitalist scheme that's burning deep within all of us that is like, no, own more, do more, buy more. I personally think you got to play whatever the hell inspires you. This $400 guitar inspires me in the same way that a $40,000 guitar that I've played before has. You know, if
Well,
not more than
I
that.
played crazy expensive guitars that didn't inspire me at all. You know what I mean? And I played really cheap
Totally.
guitars that didn't inspire me.
Absolutely.
And there will always be luxury items, right? And it's
Yes.
fine to be like, okay, this is a luxury item.
Yes.
I also don't want them to be only luxury items. I want people who want to learn, kids, teenagers,
Yeah.
adults who have never played or like who just play for fun. I want them
yeah.
to have guitars that like
Yes.
are relatively affordable too.
Yeah.
But let's answer Tony. B9864 says, I played the studio session guitar at your store last weekend. What do you think of it, and how do you think it compares to the standards?
Well, so the studio session is a different beast if you look at it from a few different angles, right? It's got the push-pull pots on it, right? So you got a couple more tonal options. The pickups are definitely going to be different from the standard models, but that might be what you're looking for.
It's a little more modern,
Yes.
if you ask me. Like feel and sound. I think it's a little more modern.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's closer to the 60 standard than the 50 standard, right? I prefer the standards, but just because I'm more of like a traditionalist,
Yeah.
it's the vibe and the aesthetic that I like. It's the feel that I sort of like. I was super impressed with the studio and the studio sessions because we did a whole video of this. I've never enjoyed studios.
Yeah.
I've always thought
they're better now than they ever have been.
I would agree with that, and I think that if we were playing the game of no guitar is worth X amount, and you just got to have a guitar that is good enough to do, I could play any gig I've ever played with a studio session, and not just play it like, so I don't think you could go if you like the studio session, then there's no reason to spend more money on the standard unless you just are like, man. Because I can't say, right, this goes right into our discussion we're having. I can't say that, like, the standard is, like, head and shoulders a million times better than the studio session. It's not. Now, do I think the custom shop stuff is head and shoulders better than both? I do, unfortunately.
I mean, it kicks you square in the damn.
Oh, my God, these are such good guitars. And it's not... it's not because they're, like, totally different beasts. They're just better built guitars. And it translates to me...
Yeah.
to when I'm playing what I hear. Now, any great pro guitar player, we could give Derek Trucks a studio session.
Yeah, and he's gonna sound like.
And you're not
fucking
gonna be
Derek
like, well, God, this was such a letdown, man. The band just wasn't right tonight. I don't think that would ever be.
Any guitar I were to hand you in a blindfold test, you're gonna sound like Jonathan Robinson. That's how you sound on a guitar.
Pretty average, pretty mediocre.
That's what it's gonna be, though. You're gonna sound like
you're like that was pretty good, pretty good.
Now, I think the point there, though, is whenever you play that guitar, do you feel like does Derek Trucks feel as inspired playing a studio session as he does Tiger? Probably not. But. All of that to say, and I want to get back to the what we consider modern features because I saw that with your question though to fully answer it, whichever one you feel like is going to serve you best is the ultimate answer there, right? If you want those modern features, which we're going to talk about here in a moment, if you want that, the contours and such, as well as the push-pull pots and things of that nature, go with the studio session. If you want something that is more vintage inspired and is going to lean closer to maybe the Les Paul of old, go for the standard, And also know that you're buying a guitar that is, a couple grand more, but it's going to hopefully inspire you that much more. I don't know, though. I'm not you. I don't have your hands. So, what is a modern guitar? I'm not saying that the studio session is the most modern guitar, but whenever you talk about body contours that come across the heel, like
the contours,
same thing.
Typically thinner necks, I think, like for like a faster neck. I don't
playing.
buy that. All modern guitars are actually faster, like in that way. No. But I mean, for the like more modern shreddy techniques.
Yes.
I think more modern is like the voicing of the pickups. Like does it handle gain better? It's a tighter low end most of the time.
Usually less noise. is introduced into the pickup to where like vintage inspired pickups have a lot more noise to them.
I think the stainless steel thing, maybe, you know.
I completely agree with
Some
that.
people, I don't understand it. Some people don't like stainless steel frets. Some people don't like, I don't like locking tuners.
I don't either. But I'll tell you this, and I think you and I fall into the same camp of this. Whenever you use your tuners properly, I never have a string pop from the tuner. It always pops from the bridge. You know, because
Well,
I'm
and I don't
playing.
think the locking tuners are, I've never put locking tuners on a guitar, and
And
it
it
ever
tuned
solves
better. No.
my tuning issue.
Your
It
tuning
has
issue-
always been, and it always will be.
on the nut.
Now, a tuner could be malfunctioning.
Totally, absolutely.
You
You can
know?
have a tuner pulling. Yes,
But I've had old guys tell me, I wish I had every penny I've ever spent on upgrading tuners back in my life, because I cannot think of one time, and I've done it a lot. And this is not a collector. This is from like a player who was out playing gigs, and I'm pissed because my guitar won't stay tuned. I cannot tell you how many times I've changed tuners. Sometimes multiple times on a guitar, only because I was ignorant that it was not the nut. I would die on that hill any day. It just was not.
Due to us being the shop that we are, I have spare sets of the vintage old school tuners, right, from Fender. These tuners on this Squire, I went to swap out, and the eyelet holes were not the same. I was gonna have to drill them out, and I was trying to find a set that would work. Went through a bunch of different things, and I finally had to sit down with my own self, my own ass self, play this guitar, and say, do I have an issue with these tuners? Are these tuners fucking with my tuning stability at all? Absolutely not. These are cheap ass tuners, right? This is a $400 guitar.
right.
Cheap ass tuners. Never once have I had a string pull. Never once have these tuners fit, and I've been playing this guitar for over a year now. In what framework can I justify putting locking tuners on here? Why do you put locking tuners on your guitar? What are you doing it for? Do you not know how to restring a guitar? That's okay.
Now, I will say that to me, the benefit of locking tuner is how quickly you can change strings.
There's a good answer.
You know,
That is a
like man,
great answer.
pull it on, lock it, tune it, done. No winding, none of that bullshit. You know,
Great.
like that
That's
to
a
me,
fantastic answer.
and so for that, and I'm not even sure if for the trim it matters. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like if you're locking into the nut like a Floyd, cool.
Well,
but
and
on,
I was
you
gonna
know,
say, if you're locking into the nut, this shit kind of doesn't matter.
No.
Once you've got it locked in, like it does, and you need to make sure that you're stringing it up right. But if you don't want them to break, and this comes from a shredder friend of ours, our sweet big cheese man himself, the Jason Scribner, pull your ball in through your tuner, and it's never going anywhere. Don't worry. That might sound crazy, but you're going to cut off the other end of the string anyway. So pull your ball.
oh yeah,
in
to
through.
put in that little vice
Yeah.
for the.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel better about that because you're not cutting that line
Yeah.
at the ball. Like to me, I always found that a little bit like.
That is where you're going to fuck something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But aren't locking tuners just locking for winding new string? Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. All it is. Chad says Jonathan is playing a mule Resophonic. A new mule has to be ordered online, made to your specifications, delivered in 9 months, about 4K. If you hadn't checked out, this is Chad's mule, by the way, because Chad loves me and brings us pizza and lets me play his Resonator.
Because he's
Well,
the man.
I mean, what could you want more in a friend, honestly? But,
Chad, man. Dude.
we love Chad, but anyways, yeah, these guitars well, this is a great example too of what we were talking about, right? You could get a Gretsch like Bobcat or something.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Can you probably do all the stuff? Yeah. There is something really fun about the mules, though.
Oh,
And it is hard to, totally... Because, I've played the Dobros, which Epiphone owns Dobro, like Gibson. That Dobro is a brand name, if you don't know. Like, these are all Resonator guitars, right? So, Dobro's a brand name, even though it's become sort of synonymous with people, they play Dobro or whatever. Dobro's a brand name.
Think about National guitars.
National,
Right?
and Nationals are awesome, but Nationals are this much or more,
Oh yeah.
right? You know what I mean? And so there is something about these that are just they're just cooler. That there's just something when you play them.
Well,
It's a little bit, but it's not just that it inspires me, right? It's something about how the notes behave which
Yeah.
I know sounds a little bit ridiculous, right?
Well, I mean,
Which is why I don't want just like a recording
Yeah.
king or a.
yeah.
Some of the recording kings are cool. Actually, I'd have a record some of the recording
yeah.
king models, but I don't know. These are just a bit. They do a thing a little bit.
Well, and I think that goes to the craftsmanship that's involved with it, because regardless of how you look at it, if you think it's a gimmick, they're spending more than $300 to $400 to build this fucking guitar.
Oh my god! These
what I
with
mean?
this whole thing is
the
like.
whole damn thing. You know,
And the way the bridge works and all that kind of stuff, it's a
craftsmanship
lot
in it.
more involved than like
the damn frets on that guitar,
some
dude.
things, you know.
Ain't no company out there going around their ass to round off fret ends to the level that Castadosa or Mule or... And there's not many that I'll go on to voice about here, but they're not doing that, you know. That is a well-made guitar.
just fun.
Sorry, guys. I'm Sean. I mean, massively late.
Marla. We had some good late editions. We had our pal Todd. We had
Get your
Marla.
Larry McTerry ass.
Mayor says not a bad sound from the mics. The distortion is pleasing and smooth. That's good to know. I mean, because you're hearing it all through.
Yeah.
I don't know if the shotgun mic is still on, but
I think
you're
it's
probably
just
just
the
hearing
labs.
it nothing but labs. It's kind of funny.
Listen, I mean massively late. Suck my ass, fuckhead. I said it right to your face, bitch.
The deal's done.
It's over.
Chad says this is exactly why I lend you my guitar. She doesn't do that with me. I do feel like one day Chad's going to sit down in here and start playing some damn like Guthrie Go Man or something where you're like, oh my god,
It's gonna be.
it's all a ruse. He's like, oh, I don't play much, you know.
It's gonna be in it.
Somebody give Sean $5 for that. Damn right.
No. I'm kidding, Anthony. Hopefully one day you'll remember how to build the Robies and we'll be able to ship them.
I will say, gosh.
He's crying.
Man,
He's
man, I'd go and cry too.
Oh,
Man.
no, he's talking shit to
Ouch.
me. He's like, we've been
Ouch.
fucking with each other about it. It's great.
Whew. I will like to say, everybody who hung out with us for the live stream last Thursday, thanks for bidding on Johnny's items. I think I have covered all the things I need to cover. I think my Strat is saved due to some
Safety dance.
some kindness of some folks.
That's right.
My Gretsch could not be going to a better home.
It'll be good.
My little Supro could not be going to a better home.
I like it. I got the epitome pedal that we're gonna throw up there today. I gotta run home and grab it. I keep forgetting these things. It's been busy, man. My brother's getting married.
It's been
You're
so
moving.
busy. I'm moving,
We got
God.
all this shit
I
going on.
am so ready to not be moving. I feel like here's what's scary about my move, and I want to sort of maybe set things on fire, but yeah, I feel like we've moved all these boxes, and my house still looks like nothing's been moved out of it, and I haven't even touched the attic yet. Which this is the first weekend that like I've got all weekend, you know.
What are you? I think we need to have a damn throwaway party.
I mean, we've been throwing junk away, but I just we got too much crap. But I think now that I'm involved, because it's been mostly Christy and the kids, I got to get involved, and I got to be like,
Guys, yeah, you gotta be like, listen, I love you guys. Shit's gotta go.
well, and that like this month, dude. Abby's birthday was last week.
Yeah.
Elijah's is Saturday.
Hell yeah.
We're moving. It's just like, oh my god. So and you can't really tell. I mean, you could tell your kid, hey, you don't matter, but you can't be like, hey, we're not doing anything for your birthday because.
You just walk them into their new room and you say, happy birthday. See all this space you're gonna have? Damn it.
I mean, I have said those things, but mostly joking,
Oh, yeah.
They know
yeah,
they have to put up with me.
You gotta throw in the
joking.
joke, man.
I would have been pretty sad to lose my Strat, but I would have done it.
We've had a
Anyways.
lot of people ask us about the shit on the table. The shit on the table did not happen because nobody anteed up $10,000. You want shit on the table? $10,000, baby.
I would like to say, Baxter was appalled.
He was like, who would say such a thing?
It's getting kind of like, listen,
He's never.
these things happen.
The live
These things
stream, he's not gotten into the ebb and flow of what we all come together to do once a week,
Oh,
which is be absolute scoundrels and deviants.
dude, the mayor says my parents moved us when I was 10. Flat out just didn't take my toys. Find out until I got a new house. Still scarred. That is scarring material, right? Sometimes, now listen, that's the kind of things parents used to do. Like, my parents did some kind of stuff like that occasionally, and I'm like, man. And so I always try to, with my own children, I never know if I find the balance of if I'm ruining them by spoiling them, trying to make it easier and better, or if I'm like just being a decent human. But sometimes then I'm like, man, I'm too hard. I don't know.
I mean, that's fucking medieval.
It's such that is medieval. That's rough, dude.
Get over it, kid.
No, like if you're fleeing like communism or something,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
sure,
fuck
don't take
the
the
toys,
toys.
yeah.
But
If
just moving.
If the
it's like,
Holocaust is happening, you
well,
gotta
we
get
had to
it
make
out.
some decisions, as they said, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my dad does not do birthdays at all. Like
That's never will.
I spent all day with my father on his birthday, and I didn't say anything about it because it's not like I don't want you to say anything about my birthday. It's not that. Like I spent all day with him working my ass off on my own birthday this year. Not one mention. Now my wife popped up at the end. She's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know it was your birthday. I'm gonna throw you a party." And he just kind of looked at like he legit does not. But he was also one of 11 children, 13 people in his house growing up. So I mean,
Growing up, well, I don't know. My grandpa called me this year, and I was like, that's crazy. That's weird. It's odd. This one year.
the mayor says fleeing Long Island. Like I said, fleeing communism. I'm just kidding, Long Islanders. I'm only
it?
kidding.
How's life on the island? My grandpa called me this year and he said happy birthday, and I was like,
What?
It was wild. And don't get me wrong, like growing up, it's not like if we came up, he would be like happy birthday, but there's no like fanfare. You're not getting like a.
My dad
wow.
did happy birthdays when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But like once you hit like,
It's over.
I
know.
And my dad is like, if you really need something, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like your grandpa, right?
Oh, yeah.
But now my mom's side, like my grandpa and my grandparents there, like awesome, like not that my dad's not awesome, but you know what I mean. Like they're into like the birthdays and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just different philosophies of.
Oh, Skylar's family, they're like celebrations are happening.
Because you
I'm
can't
like,
go a little overboard. Now Christy does. I do have to brag on my wife. Like Christy does a really good job. Like we're not spending like thousands of dollars having like crazy parties, but like
You make it special.
she makes them a little banner, and they wake up, they walk. She puts these little streamers on the door into the living room, and they walk through them. And
Yeah, but that's good mom core.
that's just good. And like Abby's was Silverhawks this year because I don't understand what's happening, but she's
but
obsessed
it's
with
a
Silverhawks.
good mom core.
It's a good mom core. And
Because you
then
kind of get a little teary-eyed and think one day, 20
One day,
years from now, she's Abby and Elijah, they're going to remember and be
it's
like,
like a
Mom,
tradition,
so
right?
great.
And then we have a mini birthday adventure. Like Abby, we went to what's it called?
The
Mad Splatter, where you go in this room and you put on these little suits and
Which
there's
is
paint
insane.
everywhere. It's kind of insane.
It was awesome.
And then Elijah's going to the skate shop in Greensboro where they do the little figure skateboards, which I think is amazing.
That's
Like,
kind of dope.
I'm
actually.
kind of amazed. I love that
That's-
he's still like, I love it.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Well,
what
because
do you
like
do?
eventually that stuff ends, and it's sad. Like, especially your kids are getting close to that age where, I mean, I assume as a parent, you're just fearing the moment that it's like the Santa Claus thing, the birthdays, all that becomes like, oh, we gotta do this. Okay, like it's gonna suck, dude. It's getting close to the end, you know.
I'm a believer. I'm gonna philosophize here. Philosophize. Like, everybody talks about how your kids one day they just don't want anything. I kind of think that is obviously a thing, right? They get more independent than they're supposed to, right? Because you can screw that up. Where you're like, no, you don't need to think for yourself or do
Live with
anything for
me
yourself.
forever.
You can screw that up. But I at least believe that there's a way where your kids don't like have to necessarily go through the thing where they hate you.
No.
Or like don't I'm trying the thing where like my kids want to talk to me. And you know what I mean, like want to be around me. Obviously they want to go and do other things too. Like, and I push for that, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think it is like I think as long as you keep it where if your kids come to you, no matter what the situation is, and they feel like they can talk to you and not feel like you're going to scream, yell, and call them fucking idiots.
I mean, I might do that.
Well, you know what I mean?
I did have a moment this morning with Elijah. I was like, shut up. but yeah.
That's one thing. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like, they like he's not fucking something up and hiding the mess. You know what I mean? He's like, Dad, I did blank. I've seen him do that. I've seen him whenever something happens, he comes up to you and he tells you. He'll
That's
talk
true.
to you about it, right? As long as you're keeping some channel open like that, I don't think you're gonna have that. Now, if you respond to everything with like some shit breaks, goddamn fucking dumbass. You fucking dumbass. When do you want to, like, what? Okay, sorry, I forgot. I thought my name was Dumbass for,
I was going to say, there were times when I got a little closer to that growing up, and I was just like...
Totally.
And I've... Maybe, and I don't, not to be all like, after school hour here, but like, I think probably a lot of people in our age group, like from your age group to like a little older than me,
Yeah.
you catch yourself now and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I react oddly to some things, but it's all because...
Yeah.
You dumb
You
fucking
dumb fuck. You spilled a glass of water, you dumb motherfucker. What?
And I was like, just fun times. Fun times.
What do we got here? The only good thing about my birthday at this point is that it gives me a reason to buy or build a guitar that my wife can't argue with. There you go.
See, now, I listen, Spark Brain says sometimes kids need to be called a dumbass so they learn for next time. There is a balance. Like, there's a balance. Because you can't just be like, oh, poor, but oh my God, it's
no,
okay.
that's wrong.
Life just happened to you. It's not your fault.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I cannot do that shit. I cannot, like, whenever I have kids, I can't go that route. Because I just don't have it in me to be like, oh, it's okay, little buddy. Like, but also, I don't think, you gotta be beating a motherfucker. I don't think you gotta go, it's Zach. He's blowing. Zach Person, new music video. It's killer. JP was like, hit the plug.
Go do it. Go get it.
Yeah, I was like, you better.
I feel like...
Dexter told him before he came over, he said, hit the plug.
Hit the plug.
Hit the plug.
Plug it.
Plug the man. Yes. Go check out Zach's new music video. It's sick. I've seen it. He's a bad man. That's a bad man.
What are you gonna do?
It's like... Nah, good. I'm gonna find out. No, didn't go to D either. I'll figure it
Whoa.
out.
Dude, Alan Mitchell says, I'm waiting on a pick holding device I ordered over the weekend. I'm missing my left hand.
Whoa.
and normally strolling my callus on my left arm. Dude.
Who said that?
I was looking back through things we missed. Alan Mitchell, 09.
Alan Mitchell.
God bless you, sir. That's hardcore right
Keep
there.
kicking ass. Don't.
I mean,
listen.
I mean, we all bitch about things we got.
Yeah, but definitely pick up that damn guitar.
Also, dude, I'd like to know how the pick holding device works out. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Send us a video,
if
dude.
you, well,
Yeah.
if you feel, you know, what I mean,
If you feel like,
if you're like that's cool, if you'd be cool sharing that, I think that'd be badass. I just think I just find that so impressive.
it would be cool. What I envision our live stream growing to. Somebody made a joke about first time caller. I envision us being able to check in with certain people of our live stream crew, and you could update us on your journey as to using the pick device. Even if you get to a point where you're like, man, this fucking sucks. I'd rather just listen to music, and you know, because I don't think that's how it's gonna go. I think you're gonna fucking.
Or
nail
going
this.
back to like strumming. I mean, that's badass.
It's gonna be cool.
But being able
I'm
to pick
excited.
a little bit.
You're gonna get that shit down. But being able to check in and see like, hey, what's going on? You know?
The mighty Woodrow says, my kid is very familiar with the phrase, life sucks, wear a helmet. I do say my kid, and they're like, that's not fair. And I say, life's not fair. Good thing you're getting the hang of it. Good thing you're getting used to it.
You know what I heard all the time? Is if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
My dad would hit me with the old, you can do whatever you want. You just gotta accept the consequences. Okay.
Hey.
And he was right.
He's putting the ball in your
He
court.
was right.
He's like,
he
do
started
what you
telling me
do.
that shit when I was like, I don't know, like 15 or 16. Do whatever you want to do, but you gotta accept the consequences. And so the consequences might be him beating my ass.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that.
Sometimes
Listen,
you
a
need
good
it.
ass beating. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Hey.
Okay. Now, should you be like beating the hell out of your kid? No. But
You know?
listen, I got my ass tore up a time or 10. All right, and I'll tell you this: was every time warranted? Maybe not.
Did
but
you-
sometimes I look back at it and I'm like, I
Thank
get
God.
I get the point now. I didn't back then. I was like, this fucking sucks. It's like, what the hell? Look back at it and I'm like, damn, I'm glad. I'm glad he said that to me.
My dad, listen, my dad he'd be pissed at me if he knew I was going to tell this story. My dad beat my ass one time because my bike got stolen. Now listen, I knew the kid though, right? And I could have just kind of been like, nah. And then I'd also rode that bike down a major highway coming home when I could have rode through the woods. And my dad found out about it. And I remember my mom being like, oh my, and at the time I was like, this is so unfair. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I should have been like, I should have said, hey, no, I know I don't want you to take this bike.
Yeah.
Because it, like, I say stolen, but it was really more like pressured.
Yeah.
And my dad was just mad at me because, like, I didn't say, hey, no, wait. You know what I mean? He was just teaching me, hey, man, don't be a little piece of shit. Like, stand up and have a voice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That was an awesome lesson, but I did not appreciate it until many years later.
I got a story I'll share.
And I don't mean, like, we say beat our ass. We don't mean, like, you
He
know.
got popped on the ass.
Yeah.
Like, the literal ass. Not he didn't punch
Yeah.
you in the face. He didn't take you
That
down.
was
man.
that was later.
Yeah, that comes later on in life. No, I had a progress report. This was middle school. My grandma watches these live streams, so she's gonna be laughing her ass off when she hears this, or she's gonna be appalled that I told anybody this. I was like 13 years old, right about that age where you're like, I can't get whoopings anymore. I can't get beat.
That's what you think.
That's what you fucking think, right? And I had like 78 or 79 in this class, right? Which at that time was a C, right? It wasn't a D, it was a C. And I was like, fuck. It's like, I don't want to show this dad because it's going to be this whole thing. So I had my grandma sign this progress report. Every 4 weeks you get a progress report. I took it into class. My dad said, you get your progress reports yet? No. They just kept saying no.
A lie.
A straight bold-faced fucking lie, right? Because I'm just that good. So
Nah.
I'm sitting there and I'm playing video games one night, and he asked me, he's like, you get your progress report? And I was like, nope. And he said, oh, okay. He's like, that's funny. And I was like, didn't think anything of it because, you know, I'm smooth, I'm slick. And he goes, because I called your teacher today, and she said she gave it to you about 2 weeks ago. And she told me who signed it, too. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's like shit got real.
You know the feel. I can feel the feeling right now from those scenarios where you just feel like, oh no.
My stomach fell out of an airplane and was plummeting to earth at Mach speeds.
And there's nothing you can do.
Nothing I can
There's
do.
nothing
Like,
you can do.
oh. And he said, "Why don't you stand up?" I stood up. He wore my ass out, dude. And he
Bruh.
said, "Let me tell you something." He's like, "You can go sit in that corner until I tell you to get out because you're acting like a damn child." He said, "There's 3 things." This sticks to my head. I say this anytime. If I'm going to tell a little white lie to somebody like, "Oh, I didn't have time to get to it because of blah," I'm like, I tense up. Because he said these 3 things. He said, "There's 3 things I can't stand in this fucking world. A liar, a cheater, and a fucking thief." And he said, "You're being one of those right now. Beat my ass, put me in the damn corner." And I was like, fuck, that shit sucked, dude. But it made me understand the point of honor and why you should always be honest to people. And regardless of him beating my ass over it, just understanding that that shit isn't cool. Don't do it. Just be honest. You're fucking up, be honest about it. If you fuck up, you gotta tell the truth. Or it'll eat you alive, is how I feel about it now.
You gotta tell the truth. Todd Roy, man, I hate to hear that, but I think our proud Todd is proof that some people, despite bad circumstances, turn out to be awesome folks.
When
You
that,
overcome that stuff.
you know, my
And if you did have dads that weren't that, appreciate them even more.
exactly.
You know?
And on top of that too, my mom had a really shit go of things, but she is a living proof of the fact that you can take whatever your life circumstances are, and I mean absolute dog shit. Like the drunken father was only one half of her horrible situation. Honestly, probably a quarter of it if you really look at the whole span of it. You can take all that shit and you can let it fester and eat you alive, or you can be like her good friend Todd Roy here too, and you can take that shit and use it as jet fuel and propel yourself up and away from it and say, "I'm not going to be anything like any of that shit," and get out of whatever situation you're in, you know? And that's hard to do. It's really
it
fucking
is hard. But I will tell you that some of the best people I know, because I think it can go one of 2 ways, right? You could just become that thing again,
Yep.
or you say, "You know what, I don't want anything to do with that," and then you just, some of the best people I know.
Yeah, and you
come
would
out of
never
that.
know it because of
That's
how
right.
they act, how they react, what their reaction to
Yeah,
life
yeah.
is. When shit's hitting the fan, those are the people who you look to and they're like, "I guess we can just figure it out.
That's right.
What else can we do?" And they don't give 2 shits, man.
That's right. All right, it is 11:30. I guess we should go and
We gotta go to work.
do the things. But anyways, we appreciate you guys for hanging out and listening to us rant. It was a good day. Yep, I'm with you, Feckless Cowboy. But man, everyone have an awesome week. We'll see you next week. We're ridiculously close to 75,000 subscribers, like less than 700. So share this thing. Guitar giveaway coming up. Anything else? Go listen to Zach's new video.
Zach's new song, video, blow. It doesn't
blow. That's all I can think. But anyways, you guys rock. Thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe.
That's right. Hit the bell.
Check out the second channel.
That's right.
Lots of Backstreet demos popping out on there, and they're pretty darn good.
They are.
So yeah, man, we'll see you guys next week. Oh, and by the way, lots of members only content coming out. Like I did a live stream this week. Sean's been live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Baxter's been filming stuff, so I think that's been dropping as well.
That's right.
So lots more and even more plans. We've been trying to really stay on top of that. So
Yep.
JP makes us. He beats us as well if we
He
don't.
does. Yeah.
if
He's
we
got
don't
a
do it now,
chain
so.
over there. He takes his shirt off and he's like, "You boys are never gonna learn." And you're like, "What the fuck?"
Damn it. But anyways.
He smiles the whole time.
Dorks only. You love it, Ned. You love it. All right. Love you guys.